Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Good morning, Tuck. How are you?
Morning. Hey, I am doing wonderful. How about yourself, my friend?
I'm pretty good. Am I coming in clear? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you absolutely are. You sound great.
So I found out a new trick, Tuck. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So whenever you click one of these comments that are in the chat, it will actually pop it up on screen like we do right here. So our YouTube, I threw this message into everything, YouTube, Facebook, and all that. But once you click it, actually just pops up on screen. So I kind of prefer this instead of like a live comment feed.
Yeah,
so pretty cool, man.
Oh man, Eddie, we're trying something different this morning. We are going live from my personal Facebook page.
Hey, Ryan says good morning. Ryan, on YouTube, are you the fellow from North Carolina that we spoke to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think Ryan's our North Carolina buddy. Oh man, I'm getting the old dispatch schedule up and running, seeing what we look like today.
Ryan, let us know how we're sounding today, man. If we're coming in clear, if we need to change some of our volume, we always got to tinker with it a little bit. Man, yesterday was crazy. I was streaming and it kept kicking me off. I almost ended the stream several times, and it would.
I tried to jump in and take a look at it and like see and actually watch it. And the first time I went, I think I was on LinkedIn, and it said that the stream had ended, and I was like, oh no, he's fighting for it.
I know. Well, I think viewership for it was really bad because I pulled the plug. I commented on there. I was like, I got to take this off. It's not working out. Of course, it finally started working and it kept going. But man, it was the first 10 minutes or so were rough. Ryan says loud and clear. Well, appreciate that, man. How are you doing today? How was life in North Carolina today? We are dealing with a lot of humidity today. And I'm sure you guys are too. Let's check out the weather today.
You're beating me to it. I'm checking the watch right now.
I want to pull up a screenshot of today's forecast.
Oh man, we are 90% humidity with a 70-degree dew point right now.
Nice. All right, let me throw this up on screen real quick. Also, just want to say, doing this alone, it's much more difficult. When you have a co-pilot, you can buy yourself some time, throw some images up on screen.
A little difficult.
Humid, but haven't been outside yet. That's fair enough. I'm going to take this off the screen here. So here is our current neck of the woods over in Oklahoma City. This is what it's looking like right now. We got a high of 94 degrees. It's going to be the high for the week. And I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think we hit over 94 in the last few days. Then low 75 is where we're at currently, and humidity is at 91%. So it's getting kind of wet out there. Let's go ahead and check in on our Instagram because it's always different. Hey guys, if you're checking us out on Instagram, let us know if we're coming in loud and clear. Let us know how you guys are doing this morning. Let's see. See, it's funny because every time I check it on Instagram, it says that it goes away as if we're not live. So then I'm like, oh no.
It's kind of like you just can't you can make eye contact with it, It's there somehow, somewhere. It's there. It looks like we got a relatively busy day scheduled out. Our maintenance techs have one, maybe two calls available. On the HVAC trouble side, so if you have a no cool rocking, we got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 slots available. And then plumbing, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open slots. However, a couple of these plumbing calls, if I'm reading the job descriptions right, we may be out there all day if they turn into what I think they're going to turn into. I'm not speaking it into existence. I'm just, I've been doing this long enough to know if I read the job description right and see what the customer's after, that call might go a little long.
Yeah. Speaking to Ryan in the chat, we put out a video yesterday. I don't know if you had a chance to check it out. If you did, let us know your thoughts on the matter. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. Oh, wow. And then later this morning, we're going to play a little game talk. I got a game for us.
Where's that coming from? There it is. I ended up in a loop of our audios.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All good.
So I'm curious if my audio is spilling over into the microphone. So let me know if that ends up happening again.
Yeah, I think you're good. It was definitely a me problem.
Oh, okay, cool. So we put out 2 long videos this week. One was with Keith talking about AC parts. The other one was Tucker. We put out yesterday. There's a $3,200 HVAC tax credit that's going away. The big beautiful bill has had some good and bad impacts on on well, I was going to say homeowners, but the good news is more for students who are wanting to get into the trades. Tucker, tell us a little bit more about what's going on with the Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, so from the again, kind of same mindset as the video. I don't care to talk about the politics or the far-reaching implications of it. However, I want to focus on what matters to our people, which is their home comfort and potentially their students' college savings fund. That's a big one too. But so what happened is for the last, I believe, like 3-4 years, we've had what is called the 25C tax credits. The 25C tax credit allowed for us to offer tax break, tax incentive for upgrading from a standard efficiency system to a inverter-driven variable capacity, variable speed system. So we can give off we wouldn't give off, I shouldn't say that, but the government would give you up to $3,200 back on your taxes at the end of the year whenever you filed. So it's a tax credit. It wasn't a straight up like discount. So there was a little bit of a waiting that you had to do. So you had to file your taxes, have the certificate. That is going away. So on average, a inverter-driven system over a conventional is going to cost about 40% more. And so that really helped a lot of the savings. You're able to get down and get competitive with that 25C tax credit. It's also going away for water heaters. There's a water heater credit for up to $2,000 if you're going from I believe it was if you're going from an electric standard only to either a heat pump water heater or a gas tankless of 90% or greater. And so those two are going away. So it's really a great way for people to save. As of December 31, those will no longer be able to be offered. So we're still able to offer them through the end of the year. So if you're on the fence about upgrading, now's the time. Ryan asked, part one, I have an older Linux stable Linux signature from 2005. The outdoor unit is super quiet with no issues. The EVAP coil has failed multiple times over the years. I know y'all are Linux dealers. Has the new Linux coils gotten better? What are your thoughts? I want to get into our system, but I want to see the issues with leaks has slowed down. Thank you for any feedback. So, yeah, we are a Linux dealer. Linux is our primary brand. And as far as the leaking is concerned, I believe the leaking is, what has caused it in the past is no longer there. They've retooled a lot of their manufacturing plants. So I don't think that they're having nearly the issues that they had back in the past. But 2005 is a heck of a run. 20 years on a system is a heck of a run. Especially so for Oklahoma, our average lifespan on an HVAC system is between 12 and 15 years. And I assume North Carolina, talking to Stephen with GSM, I think North Carolina's is pretty similar. I think they might be like 12 to 16, 12 to 17, somewhere in there. So 20 years is an incredible run. But one of the things that caused the spike in the 2005 was kind of fringe. Whenever they were going from R22 to 410A, 410A was really starting to make its round. And 410A operates at a lot higher pressure than R22 did. And so that first wave of coil, I think, really struggled with that increase in pressure. I mean, it was like more than double. And so now I think after 15, 20 years of making high pressure coils and high pressure line sets, every manufacturer's pretty much got it on lock. But Ryan, if you were in Central Oklahoma, one of the things that I would say is, hey, let's whenever we sell a new system to you, let's go ahead and get a 10-year labor warranty, because it comes with a 10-year parts. So that way you wouldn't have to worry about anything on that system for 10 years.
Perfect. That's a good question.
That was a great question. And then the other thing on the Big Beautiful Bill that's happening is the 529 savings plans. So I'm pumped about this because I'm very passionate about getting people into the trades. The 529 savings plan used to only be allowed as a college savings fund, or a college savings plan that the government allowed you to put in tax-free. Used to only be able to pay for conventional college. So it was only capable of paying for private or public institutions, and that's it. Well, now it is capable of paying for trade school. So super pumped about that, because I think we're going to start to see, we've already seen it in the last probably 2-3 years. There's an influx of trade students enrolling in trade schools. I think that number is only going to go up. So I'm super pumped about the direction that we're heading there, because I think working with your hands is a fulfilling career. And I think in a world of increasing automation and AI within the white collar world. The real thing is if you work with your hands, I think it's going to be a while before the robots can come take our jobs. Ryan said, the outdoors rock solid for today, but that's 13 SEER, and I'm ready for lower electric bills and better humidity control. Just deciding between the Elite models and the Dave Lennox heat pump. The side discharge looks very interesting. I agree. The side discharge saves a ton of room. And ultimately, so we sell, one of our biggest sellers is the EL18. So it's the Elite Series 18. And the reason why is because that is kind of like that entry level into, excuse me, so sorry. The EL18 is kind of entry level into the variable capacity, variable speed world. So you're able to kind of get the best of both worlds. You're able to save a little bit of money because you're not jumping up to the Dave Lennox Signature Series, but you're also getting the benefit of having a inverter-driven system and saving some money on your electric bill from there. Also, too, it's a 13 SEER, so the degradation of the unit. So it's 13 SEER when it was installed. I bet if we were to go throw an amp probe on it and actually do the calculation, I bet you're probably operating somewhere around 7 or 8 SEER would be my bet.
Man, I am currently scrubbing through comments because we get a lot of comments on our socials, and I'm trying to find some interesting ones that we can answer this morning. So that is why I'm over here just silently scrolling, trying to figure this out.
I've got let me see here. I got a picture I can throw up while you're doing that.
I got I did find a weird one.
Okay.
Let me throw it in the chat. Hang on, let me read it, proofread it real quick.
Make sure it's nothing terrible.
Because you put yourself open to the internet, you're gonna get some weird comments.
You're gonna get it.
Okay, so this is actually referring to the tank versus tankless discussion, guys. So,
oh man, that video made some people mad.
Oh, it always does. It's interesting because if you realize if you ever put out any content about water heaters,
yep.
It's game over. Everyone wants to know what's going on with water heaters for some reason.
So
I'm gonna post the comment and then I'll put it up on the screen.
Yep.
So this is this is the tank versus tankless conversation. Comment says, but then you have to add the fact that you absolutely need a water softener and a water filter for that tankless water heater, or you're just going to clog it up. I'll stick with a tank. I can at least clean it out. Hard water gang here.
Yeah, no, I mean, do I think that you'd be better served if you had a water softener or water treatment beforehand? Absolutely. However, cleaning a tankless is just as easy as cleaning a tank. So ultimately, I think it depends on what you want. If you want just a big vat of hot water that you got to sit there and keep hot all day, great. Power to you. Now, this is only in the context of gas. Electric tanklesses, we do not believe in. So that's another piece of that video. But ultimately, you have so much upward potential on savings when it comes to a tankless. If you're going gas tank versus gas tankless, the reality is it's not even comparable. Cleaning it is super easy. Stopping up a gas tankless really isn't that common because we're not creating basically an electromagnet like an electric tankless would. So hard water, I'm not super worried about on a gas tankless because if we're flushing it like we should be, it is not that big of a deal. Ryan says it's Ream, not Bradford White, like you all provide. Wait, hold on, 13 amps. I just saw, soft start, it tells me at.
Good morning, Cheyenne. How are you doing today? I have another comment whenever you're ready for that one to be.
Yeah. So Ryan said that he has a soft starter on it that tells him tells him in an app in MeasureQuake. He said it's definitely not 13 SEER anymore. It was 13 SEER when it was installed. Had a good run, 20 years, great time. And Ryan says he has a hybrid heat pump water heater and love it, dude. So those are the heat pump water heaters. I think that's going to be the next wave of energy mandates that they make us go to. If they're going to make us get away, they being the EPA, make us get away from gas altogether. These heat pump water heaters are going to be the thing, and the warranties and Rheem. Ryan, like Ryan said, it's a Rheem, not a Bradford White, like you all provide. So we can provide Rheem as well, and I think Rheem is really the direction that we'll probably end up going if we end up selling heat pump water heaters, because they were the first ones to have the patent on it and have the best warranty for it. So pretty excited.
So I got an interesting comment. It was actually that same commenter who replied to us. We replied to that first comment, and then I just wanted to put this on here. Let's see. And we can kind of dissect it from there. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it broke it up into two different, at least on YouTube, it had to break it up into two different sections. Anyway, comment says, I use vinegar in my tank as well to break up the calcium deposits, because even with regular flushing, it still needs it after about 5 years. Sadly, I'm not even on well water. I've seen someone flushing a tankless with a small pump in a 5-gallon bucket. I'm afraid I'd have to do that quite often.
You should be flushing your tank and tankless every year. so the fact that it's, it needs it after 5 years, I would assume so. Even if you're not on hard water, you should flush your tank every year. That is a non-negotiable, because if you don't, you end up with a decreased lifespan, less hot water, less volume of water, all of the negativity that comes with it. Really, you got to flush every year, and if at bare minimum, flushing every other year. Hi, Colby.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out. We got Colby Yarbrough here. In the chat.
He's like a lurking in the background.
I would like to add, I just wanted to come join and have some coffee. I would also like to add that flushing your hot water tank will also help keep it clean.
Yes.
The amount of sediment that's in there, just think of what you're bathing in. So if you're not flushing it out, getting all those mineral deposits, calcium deposits, whatnot, that'll just continue to make the water that you're bathing in much harder than you would want it to be, which isn't good for soap.
Yep.
So, keep it.
Yeah, you want to if you want to never think about like running hot water and drinking it ever again, just look at the bottom of your tank.
Agreed. I'm going to keep scrubbing through some comments here, guys. Looks like we got some viewers. Tucker's pulling some stuff on screen. I'll take this off. Hey guys, if you're in the stream this morning, let us know where you're watching from today. And if you're on Facebook, throw us some love, throw us a like. It helps us get more viewership here early in the morning. I know that only the real ones are on Facebook this early. So feel free to share, comment, let us know where you're at today, and show us some love.
Yeah. Just throwing up a picture. I was comparing the team versus now. So the top picture is 1990-ish. I think Dad said they finished that building in like 91, 92. So they took that picture right after they pretty much got done. The truck's vintage. I mean, the square body pickups, you can't beat those. But we've got some familiar faces in here. The second guy in the line is old Leroy McDonald. Leroy is still with us. Leroy he's running our sheet metal shop in our warehouse. To the right of him is my uncle, mine and Colby's and Will's uncle Rick, who's passed away, but he worked with Dad from day one up until the day he passed away. And so seeing him, and then the second from the end there is the boss man himself, our dad, and then on the end there is our other, we call him uncle, but I guess it's technically like Dad's cousin, Steve Holsey, who we grew up with him as our uncle. And so that's the 1990-ish team to now. There's in that picture I counted there was like 45, 46, and I looked at our 2023 roster and we were over 50, so we were short 3 or 4 people. So, but it's crazy to see just the time variance, the time jump. 1, picture quality. 2, team size.
Yeah. So officially, what year do you think this is?
This is like 92, I believe.
I was not alive. I was not born.
Nope, me either. Colby had just been, I think.
Yeah. I have a.
I think whenever that picture was taken.
I believe so. That's what Dad was speculating yesterday whenever I was talking to him about it.
What year did you say it was?
92. He said he thinks it was in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when they finished the building, was in 92 of that year.
I would have been 4 months old.
Yeah.
We got a scenario question here pulled from our YouTube comment, actually on our refrigerant update video we did about probably a month or two ago. It says comment, scenario question. I'm in the market for a new AC system in Phoenix, Arizona. My 25-year-old Train is showing its age. Several quotes are strongly suggesting an R410A system. Several are R32. Seems availability for R454B is lacking. Suggestions? Trying to get variable speed if I can afford it. 5-ton system. Thanks.
Yeah, R32 and R54B would be your best choices. And I very much, and Colby, Ryan says, you guys are young. I feel old. It's all good. It's all good. We get that often. No, so on the refrigerant side of things, and Colby could speak to this as well, those two aren't going away. And we very much subscribe to the Energy Star. There's an Energy Star article written several years ago that basically says 80% of a system's life and how well it runs is contingent upon the day that it's installed, not necessarily the manufacturer. So if 80% is contingent on who installs it rather than who made it, whether it's R32 or R54B, I don't have like a super strong preference between the two of those, just as long as the company that's installing it is capable and able to service it for years to come.
Yeah. Colby, you have thoughts?
So I would not suggest the 410A option.
Oh yeah, I just threw that out the window.
yeah, I would not suggest that at all. So 410A is still available. They're phasing out that production. But it's going to be lower productions over time. It'll make, supply and demand. It'll make that refrigerant more expensive. And then two, a lot of your higher SEER efficiency, your newer model systems that you're purchasing are either going to be 32 or 454B. And so if you're wanting a high efficiency variable capacity system, then the likelihood of a 410A version being available is very slim. And so I would recommend, I would go either one of those routes. If you're going R32, it's most likely going to be maybe a Daikin, a Mana system, or maybe a Goodman, probably a Mana if you're doing variable capacity. And then Daikin owns the patent for R32. They made it several years ago, and R32 got adopted into the new EPA regulation. And so as far as the reason why they put these new refrigerants out is to make the global warming potential of these refrigerants need to be below a certain threshold. 454 has a lower GWP than R32 does, and so if that's something that you care a lot about, reducing helping with warming and whatnot, then 454B would be the route that I would go for the system. Now, supply and demand, so that there's plenty of R454B. What they're figuring out is the canister. They're having some issues with the canisters. It's a logistics problem, which is currently being solved, and they're manufacturing more of those canisters. And then it also became a classification for the Department of Transportation because 454B is a blend, and I'm just going to simplify this as best as possible. It's a flammable. It is a flammable refrigerant in the version that it sparks if you. It can but it's not.
It seems like a lot of people, just based off our comments, a lot of people are concerned about that.
You know what else is flammable? Paper. So paper is flammable, and it's only flammable as long if it comes in contact with a heat source of greater than 890 something degrees.
Yeah.
Gasoline is combustible. Propane is combustible. That only requires a heat source of 400. So the line is a very, very big one. Ryan asks, he says, how are manufacturers planning to support warranties for systems installed over the last few years if they can't produce 410A equipment? Are they planning to ship dry coils? So Ryan, yes. So go ahead, Cole.
Oh, I was going to say the pressures for 454B and 410A are very, very, very close. And so I've heard.
I don't think that's how they're going to support. I don't know. That's how they'll support it.
Sure. Yeah. No.
It'll be dry coils. So it'll be dry coils. They'll still be able to produce 410A at a warranty level. So it's just going to cause the price steadily increase over the next 10 years.
And why I was saying that was because the pressures are so similar. A lot of times you just swap out what would be a thermal expansion valve that would be rated for R454B. And so I was more or less talking about like the capacity that evaporator coil can handle.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So like the pressures are similar enough, whereas like if we're putting 454B into a 410A designed evaporator coil, so like let's say we're swapping out the condenser, then the pressures are so similar that oftentimes you're able to just change out a TXV.
If any of our manufacturers are listening to this, no, we would never do that.
So let's jump into we got a couple of comments here. We got Alex Drew says, good work. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing today? Glad you could tune in with us. Guys, if you're watching us right now, let us know where you're tuning in from today. We are here at the headquarters of Yarborough and Sons Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing in Blanchard, Oklahoma. We're chatting with some fellows all over the nation. We got Ryan from North Carolina showing us some good questions this morning, so I appreciate you tuning in.
From Arizona. Also, I just want to show this off. I don't think we've really shown this off at all. This is a pitcher, just a little like tea pitcher. A customer brought us this.
Yeah.
And they found this, and it says Yarborough's iced tea. Yarborough's is spelled incorrectly. However, I don't know how old this thing is. It looks and feels very old.
That's awesome.
So that was a pretty neat gift that a customer brought us.
That is very cool. I have a
Tucker, I did not know that said Yarborough's on it. I always
oh gosh. It was one of the old timers that went to First Baptist Blanchard for years brought it up here.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I probably saw it at one point, but I just it just became.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here we got. Did we already answer Ryan's question that's up on screen? It says, "How are manufacturers planning to support?" Okay, good. So we have another comment from a previous video. I'm going to go ahead and plug into the chat here, and it says, "Comment says, so they are in Texas, small, reputable, licensed company, larger unit, 5-ton, complete replacement is around $5,000 for a simple system." Are you guys following this so far? It's a little sporadic in the way it's written. No need for fancy systems, which owners pay an obscene amount and never recoup their so-called efficiency savings. What are they trying to say?
It's maybe an advertisement. I don't know.
Are they saying they're able to buy a 5-ton system for $5,000?
I think so.
That's like our cost. So, good on them, I guess. I mean, if that's what they're going with. However, I think there comes a time where it's like, you can buy the beat up jalopy of a car. It does have 4 wheels. It does have an engine, and it might have a service record. However, I don't recommend buying it. So a $5,000 5-ton. I mean, our floor for a 5-ton system is what, Colby, like 12,000 ish on a 5-ton.
Yeah. I mean, our average ticket for a simple base swap, we're going to be anywhere between about 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And so also too, I would be concerned that like corrections are not being made. And I'm saying, and I say this, like you could swap out the equipment, but oftentimes these new systems, it's kind of like it's trying to force a square peg through a round hole. Like these systems are different. They require different static pressures on equipment. The motors are more finicky whenever it comes to the different pressures that happen with ductwork. Is the ductwork sized correctly? So I would be concerned if you're doing that, you're probably not replacing the ductwork that's required for that system to operate efficiently. Also, too, people don't always buy systems based off the efficiency.
Yeah.
They buy systems based off of convenience. They buy systems based off of comfort level inside the house. They buy systems based off of the humidity inside the home, because that's what those variable capacity systems do.
Needless to say, a $5,000 5-ton, I don't know if that is feasible on a national level. Like that is an absurd price. If that is from a legitimate company,
Sure.
Wow, I'd be shocked.
We have a new comment on screen. It says, I was just quoted a single stage 3.5 ton Goodman for $7,100 and a Goodman inverter unit for $9,100. Is the inverter unit worth the extra $2,000?
As I would say, if you're getting an inverter system for $9,100 and they're also doing the corrections necessary for that system, so like make sure ductwork size correctly, are they like, do you need it, like, is the tonnage correct on the house? And
Well, I think
those things, and it's a reputable company, $9,100 would be a steal. I would pay the extra $2,000 for it.
And I think something too that we're touching on, we touched on it the last 2 times, which is when it comes to an inverter, variable speed, variable capacity system, so what matters more there is we have to make sure that the static pressures are actually accurate. Whereas like an old system or a single stage system, even like a single stage system, it's kind of like, everything is a hammer at that point. It's like your wrench is a hammer, your channel locks are a hammer is a hammer. It gets the job done. And a single stage system is that. So even if the ductwork isn't perfectly adequate, it's going to be functional. However, where we run into problems is on a inverter driven system. If we have improper sized ductwork, we're going to have static pressures that are just crazy. And static pressure, simplification, let's just call it the blood pressure of our HVAC system. If we don't have properly sized ductwork with an inverter system, then we are going to have a very short lifespan with lots of problems, and you will probably regret the fact that you purchased it, period. So if $9,100, like Colby said, if for $9,100 we are getting all of our ductwork properly measured, properly sized, and we're good to go, then I think that would be a steal. I mean, that's a bargain.
For example, inverter systems. Sorry,
I'll read the comments real fast. So mine said, it's all about the install and support. The contractor matters most I've seen. Do they stand by their work and product? That's what matters. Price is important, but secondary. Ryan, do you want to come to Oklahoma and buy a system from us?
He also said, I just helped a family get a system installed in Pennsylvania, and the quotes were a fraction of what I'm charged here in North Carolina. The market matters on pricing. I wanted to fly them down to my house.
Yeah. We've got actually the same group, Brian, that I've been talking about that Stephen with GSM is in. I've got 2 companies up in Pennsylvania, and we talk about the pricing difference and what they're selling systems for up there, but it's also what they can buy systems for. So their purchase price up there is a lot. It seems to be less than what we are down here, in the same, like the entry of the South. Because I think technically we're North Carolina, Oklahoma, we're on zone, on Manual J, we're like zone 3A. So we're like the northern part of the South's climate belt. And it seems like once we hit that part of it and head south, the manufacturers start getting really, really proud of their work because it's a life support system down here.
Absolutely. I'm going to keep scrubbing through comments. This is fun, guys. Having a great morning. Guys, if you are watching us live, let us know where you're tuning in from today. It looks like we have some viewers in the chat. We went live on old T-Yarb's personal profile on Facebook this morning. We're on the Yarborough & Sons profile, and we have one awesome viewer on YouTube. Ryan just keeps chiming in, man.
Also, it's so weird too. Like I am very much, Bryce. It's to quote Michael Scott, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. It is wild that the engagement just tanks on the Yarborough & Sons page right after a live stream.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So let's talk about it. We put out a lot of content. We produce a lot of materials here at Yarborough & Sons, putting out. Our whole goal is to educate our homeowners, our audience, whether you live in North Carolina or if you're in Oklahoma or just down the street. Our goal is to provide as much valuable information to you as possible as an HVAC and plumbing expert. And so when we're doing that, we care about how far it goes. We care about reach, how many people are actually seeing our content. What we have found is whenever we are doing these live streams, our engagement, everything, viewership, just seems like it takes a dive. And so we've been kind of debating all week, like, should we keep doing these live streams? Because we really like doing this. We love engaging and doing a little coffee hour. It's a lot of fun. But
this is our Gary V bet. We're bullish on live streaming.
That's right. That's right. So, and I still am. That's the bad thing. It's like on paper, I still am. It's just not working.
Oh man, no, it's a weird game to try to play the old Facebook algorithms.
Well, I'm going to tell you my bet right now that these live streams, no matter if you're Yard Bro and Sons or any other kind of creator, I think that it gets more viewership post-mortem than it does during the live. I think that this lives on your page. And after the live ends, it ends up racking up a lot more views.
Oh, yeah.
Later in the day. So you're kind of betting on like live, yeah, I think it's still valuable. You're just getting most of the views for the rest of the day.
Yeah, one, two, like it's just such a different game, like the live streaming world is, because it's, especially for us, like the HVAC world, it's like there's nothing inherently like we're not streaming a video game or anything. It's we're talking about dispatch and we're talking about equipment and what the implications are. Hey Heather, how are we doing? So
Tucker, your personal profile is doing the heavy lifting this morning. You got
outstanding. I love it. People are getting up and around,
you got more viewers on there than you do anything else right now. So yeah.
Well, hey, since we have the most viewers right now, I'm going to touch back on the big beautiful bill that we talked about at the beginning.
Absolutely.
So last couple days, I'm not here to talk about the politics of it. Don't care. We're talking about what matters to our industry and our homeowners, which is what implications the big beautiful bill has. So the 25C tax credit is going away, which was a tax credit that allowed us to offer up to a $3,200 tax savings to homeowners who are making a jump to a high efficiency system. So high efficiency inverter driven system. That is going away December 31. We're not going to be able to offer that any longer. Same with the water heater incentives. There's water heater incentives that if you're upgrading to either a heat pump hybrid or a gas tankless over 99% efficiency, you get up to $2,000 back. So those are going away. So if you're on the fence and looking at an upgrade, now's the time to do so. Also, the 529 plan, which is a college savings plan, historically used to only be able to be used to pay for public and private institutions, now includes trade schools. So the tradies are about to get a more viable and legitimate path to post-high school education. So we're super excited about that. Ryan says, have y'all ever heard of the channel Homeowner's Guide to HVAC? I joined his live stream too, and he has guest pros on all the time. You should ask to join their Tuesday nights. Maybe we'll give that a look.
That would be pretty cool, man. Also, I just want to announce it's 8 o'clock. It is now time for our technicians to be dispatched to their first call this morning. Tuck, let's get a quick view of our availability today.
Yep, on it. So maintenance, at the top of the call, I said we had 3 call slots. We are down to 2. So we got 2 call slots available for our maintenance technicians. For our trouble techs, we have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 non-VIP slots. And then on VIP slots, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 slots available there. And then plumbing, we're still pretty wide open, but that's typically how we start the day. So we still have probably 5 or 6 call slots available on our plumbers. We have 1 call that looks like it might go and take a little bit longer than what we're looking at. But again, this is an estimate that we might get to flip into a longer job. So we are pretty full up. Install is nice and busy today. So install, like we said, is typically booked out a couple days in advance. So if you are needing service this morning, give us a call. The slots are filling up quickly. If you want to guarantee that you get service today, go ahead and sign up for one of our maintenance membership plans, and that will guarantee you a VIP slot, and we'd be able to get to you today. So, but beyond that, that is what the forecast for the day looks like. Ding, ding, ding.
I pulled it up right as you said that. Yeah. Just wanted to give a quick look at it again. Our high is, we're really in sync this morning. Our high today is going to be 94 degrees. We are currently experiencing about mid 70s, but the humidity is ridiculous. It's about 91% today. Like I said earlier this week, we've been getting a lot of calls from customers with humidity issues. And so this is it's not a matter of, comfort's not always about how hot you are. It's just about how comfortable you are in your home. And humidity plays a pretty big role in your indoor comfort. And so guys, if you're having humidity issues, that's something that we are professionals at. So we can help you out with that. So again, call or text the number. It's on the screen this morning. You can also direct message us on any social media platform.
Yep. Or you can go straight to our website and text us. That works too. little pop up in the bottom corner that says Texas. It's got my face on it. I don't know that I'll be the one texting you back, but it's got my face on it.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes I'm in there. Sometimes.
Yeah. So, all right. What's the day looking like, boys? It's Thursday. What do you got going on today, Colby? Tell us about your day.
I am working on a bunch more back-end stuff for tracking purposes.
Cool.
So like job types, a bunch of kind of mundane necessities in software.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What a day.
Processes, baby, processes.
Bryce, I did have a quick question. Comms meeting this morning. Did you have anything specific?
There is not one because Keith, if you're watching, shout out to my boy Keith. He covers our comms meetings every Thursday. He allows me to have time to talk to our communications folks, and he is not available this morning. So I will not be having a comms meeting this morning.
Cool. Now this is turned into a broadcast.
I know. I was like, that should have been an internal conversation.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Ryan
I
says,
asked because I had some things I was gonna add to the comment meeting, and I was gonna go prep. That's what I was gonna go.
I got you.
Not.
Well, we'll talk about it after the stream.
I
Ryan says, I have a mini split that doesn't dehumidify well. Any thoughts on that? Daikin unit.
Ryan, some really good information that we could use would be like, what's the size of the unit, and then what is the size of your space that unit is provided, that unit takes care of.
Yeah, because to me, just off the bat, it sounds like we might have an oversized unit for the space, and we're having some short cycling, and so we're not getting the runtime out of it that we probably need. Yeah. Beyond that,
temperature is also a factor as well, and so it also depends on how low you're putting that mini split, that temperature for the controls, how low you're putting that down, because that temperature within that room. So the warmer the room is, the more humidity that it can technically hold. Whenever it's colder, your dew point is.
He gave it. So it's a half-ton split on 200 square feet. Not half-ton, three-quarter. Yeah, three-quarter ton on.
Three-quarter ton, 200 square feet. Yeah. Ryan, would you mind answering what temperature you have it on? What your temperature is set?
So Daikin Atmosphere. It's a cool name. Between 70 and 72.
Okay. You guys remind me what zone is Ryan in? Isn't he in?
He's in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I believe Charlotte area. Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I was at Charlotte Airport a couple weeks ago.
Got stuck there.
He says, or do mini splits just not dehumidify well in general? That's a good question.
As far as the amount of dehumidification that a mini split can do, to be honest, I'm not as familiar on the dehumidification side for mini splits as I am for like standard split systems, and so that is something that I can look into and find out. My initial thought is for mini splits that may be oversized. The surface area of the evaporator coil matters too. And so it's like how much surface area do you have? Because as your air passes through that evaporator coil, that's what's condensating and that's what's removing your humidity from the house. And so I would be interested to see what the dehumidification rate on mini splits could be compared to that of split systems.
Ryan says, sorry you had to be in the Charlotte airport. The airport design sucks. Yeah, we got stuck there twice in the last couple months. So it's, we've been rained out. Me and Bryce got stuck there, and then me and Colby got stuck there. So it's
true.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Well, guys, hey, we are wrapping up here. It is 8:07 here in Blanchard, Oklahoma. We are looking at a busy day ahead, and so we are going to get out of here and get to work. But as always, guys, do something nice for somebody. You never know; it might change their life. And we will be back next week with the Yarbrough and Sons Dispatch Coffee Hour. We'll catch you later.
See ya.